The Carn Mor Dearg Arete offers an alternative route to the summit of Ben Nevis, which is far more challenging than the mountain track. Due to how exposed the ridge is, I would not recommend doing this route on a windy day. Instead, it is better to wait for clear and calm weather, both for safety on the ridge and to enjoy the incredible views available to you while crossing this narrow strip of rock connecting two great mountains. As is the case with most Munros, it is possible for winter conditions to exist on the top well into the spring, regardless of the conditions on the glens. If there is a chance of encountering winter conditions on the top of the mountains, it is best to make sure you take winter equipment with you and have the skills to use it. The route begins by climbing Carn Mor Dearg via its two lower tops, which together form a ridge along the east side of the Ultavulan Glen, which separates Carn Mor Dearg from the north face of Ben Nevis. On the rocky summit of Carn Mor Dearg, it was easy to see how the prevailing westerly winds over winter had stripped the west side of the mountain of snow and deposited it on the east face. Where the mountain faced east towards Anachmore, the snow was still completely covering the ground except for a few rocks sticking through, whereas on the west it was almost completely back to scree except in a few gullies. Here we can see the view down the east ridge of Carn Dearg Arete. From the summit of Carn Mor Dearg, the route rounds the southern end of the Ultavulan Glen across the narrow arete, before climbing the last section of the southeastern shoulder of Ben Nevis onto its summit. Here we are looking down the start of the arete. Ben Nevis behind is currently shrouded in cloud, but I found that this cleared fairly quickly as I started my scramble along the ridge.
So I'm just at the end of the Carn Mor Dearg Arete, and looking south you can see the moors laid out, steel falls down there below. All the way along to the last two, Stobban and Mullican and Coyen. And then the last bit of my journey to the summit of Ben Nevis up ahead.
The slope got steeper and icier here, so it made sense to get my crampons on and get my ice axe out. I was grateful for this as I got to the summit, where the snow was bullet hard. I couldn't have reached the summit in better weather that day, considering the mist I had gone through in the morning. The summit was far busier than either Carn Mor Dearg or the Arete had been. The summit of Ben Nevis holds the emergency shelter, based in the ruins of the old observatory, which later became a hotel. Around it, the summit plateau is enormous. It feels even bigger in the snow, when all the rocky features are erased and all that's left is snow covered in footprints. Looking down over Glen Nevis and over the moors, you can see past Glencoe and to the mountains surrounding the River Etive. To help people find their way back down the hill and onto the mountain track again, a line of tall cairns has been built. In summer these are 2 to 3 metres tall, but in winter they're nearly completely covered by snow. Descending the mountain track quickly brought me below the snow line and out onto scree-filled slopes again. The camp conditions and clear skies made for a perfect end to a brilliant mountain day. As I got onto easier ground below the scree, I broke into a gentle jog, to bring me back down into Glen Nevis in good time.